she tell her story and she share her advice. So please open up your camera. So we have started recording, and I think we can start with the session. Um, just give me a second. Um, let's start with it. So Saloni, would you first introduce yourself, and then you can share your story, how you landed with this internship. You can share your preparation strategy, and then for sure your reaction. We already know it, but we would like to get it on record.
Sure, sure. So talking about my introduction, I am a pre-final year student from ZHCET AMU. I am currently in my third pre-final year, and I have got an opportunity to work at Meta as a network engineer intern this summers. And talking about my skills, so I am into application development, machine learning, AI, and cloud computing. And I know most of you might be thinking that how is it possible to learn different domains. So I initially started with application development, then after that I switched to MLAI, and at the same time I have done something in cloud computing, some certifications. So that's all about my brief introduction.
Also, she have an offer from Meta which she shared with us. So, would you start with your preparation strategy first? Like it's your way, Wish. You can start with preparation, or you can share the experience of having an international offer, how you started, how you encountered the opportunity, and how you applied and everything.
Okay. So basically, this whole thing started 6 months earlier. The first internship application that I applied for is Google. So I got selected for the interview rounds, and I gave few interviews, and I got rejected at the last stage. And but at that time, I realized that I want to work in these companies because I really liked the way those people interviewed me, and I really liked the so I have interacted so many people in the process, and I really liked how they were, communicating with me, and they were talking about their work culture. So this whole thing started from 6 months back. Then after Google, I applied to few companies as well, like Amazon through there is a program called WIT program for women. So I applied through that, and also I got selected for the interview round, and then obviously I got rejected. Then after that, I used to go to their career portals, and I just, if I am getting the referral, I get the referral and apply, and if I'm not getting the referral, that's completely okay. I just apply because something is better than nothing. So um so i uh, i used to search their career portals, I mean, so many times. In the weekend, I used to search for some job opportunities, for some internship opportunities, and then I apply for that because I want to gain some interview experience. So all these internships were international ones? No. So Google, Amazon were not international. Bloomberg was international. And yeah, so I wanted to gain some experience, how to, give the interview, what are the mistakes that I have been doing, and how to improve that. So one day I remember that when I got rejected from Bloomberg, after a week, I was just searching on the Meta career portal, and I read somewhere that the Dublin office is currently recruiting. So I just applied to that role without any referral, because in the very short time I didn't get any referral, and I was very much anxious. I would say that I just wanted to apply, so I didn't get any referral at that time. So I applied to that, and my profile got selected. So according to me, the major reason that my profile got selected is that I am AWS certified. So I have some experience in cloud computing and in networking in general. So my profile was matching to their requirements. So that might be the reason that my profile got selected without referral. And I have made some projects which were inclining with them. So that might be the reason. So if within 2 3 days I got their reply, and um, I got their reply, and I was moved to the next round. That is there is some assessment round which happen on their career portal. So I gave their assessment, and assessment is nothing but some basic Linux and networking questions. And it was not very hard, I would say. It was just easy level or medium level maximum, not more than that. And they just wanted to check if you are a good fit for the interview or not. So I gave that round, and I got selected. I got the result, I think, within 2 3 days, not more than that. And then I got the whole I mean, my portal got updated, and it showed me the whole timeline and whole all the rounds that I will be doing and I will be giving. So my next round was the coding interview, and after that another round was present, that is the networking interview. So 2 rounds were left at that time, and every round has 1 week. 1 week timeline. So after my assessment result, I got 1 week to prepare for coding round, and same for networking. So talking about my coding round. So coding round was they asked me questions that were very much related to the role that they were providing me. So they provided me the networking role, and those questions were very much related to that. So in networking, we read some routing protocols which uses some shortest path algorithms. So I got the questions similar to that. I can't tell the question, but yeah, the concepts were very much similar with the role that they were providing. And the question level was medium, lead code medium, I would say. But what happened was I solved my questions. He asked me 2 questions, and I solved both of the questions within, I would say, um, 25 to 30 minutes. And then 15 minutes were left. So my interviewer asked me that, should I ask you one another question? I said, yeah, sure. So he asked me one hard level question, but that question was very interesting. So it was related to some dinosaurs and all. He said that this is my favorite question, and we discussed upon that, and we even discussed upon other things as well. Um, like he wanted me to calculate some speed, and also we discussed upon that. So but that question also was related to networking, I would say. So so we discussed its approach, and he told me that he don't want me to write the code, because what I think, I have written my code very efficiently and very fast in those 2 questions. So he already checked my coding skills. So at the last, we just discussed, and that's all about my whole interview. Then he asked me if I have any question to ask. So that's all for the round. And then after 2 3 hours, within 2 3 hours, I got the result that I got selected in the mail. So it was very fast. Coding questions were based on which topic? Um, I can't tell the topic, but I think they were mostly related to networking and lead code medium level. So they were not very hard. So if you are doing the lead code questions from Facebook tag on their premium platform, then I think that's enough. Okay. So within 2 3 hours, I got the results, and then after After a week, I should I answer the questions parallelly or what?
You can share your experience, and then we can take up the questions. They can keep posting their question as they come to them in the chat, and we can take them afterwards.
Okay, sure. Within 2 3 hours, I got the results, and then after that, my networking interview was there. And honestly, I only had the implementation knowledge in networking. So I have done AWS certification. So I have made some, I have read about some networking, and I know that how to make and all. But I didn't have any theoretical knowledge. So if you are asking me some question, I can't tell you at that time. So I had the whole week, and I have to prepare for that round. And they sent me some topics called areas to focus. And my interviewer asked me all the questions related to those topics only, nothing more than that. uh, so um, so what happened was I started a book called Top to Bottom uh, Approach for Computer Networks. So I started that book. I completed that whole book in a week. I just skipped the last layer, that is the physical layer, and apart from that, I covered all the chapters. And I got the knowledge from YouTube as well. Because see, if you are reading something from a book, there is a difference uh, between understanding something and telling something to your interviewer, right? Because um, you should have some knowledge so that you can explain your answer in a precise manner. So what I did was I searched some questions, like for example, let's say BGP. So what is BGP? So I saw that how people were answering that questions on YouTube. So in this way, I searched some questions by myself and saw that how people are answering, and then got that knowledge from YouTube. And yeah, that's all. And also I connected to some people on LinkedIn, which who are working as a network engineer in some good companies. And I talked with them. I told them that I have my interview, and this knowledge I have, what do you think I should learn more about it? So they also suggested me few topics more, and that also helped me. And yeah, so I gave that interview, and then within 3 4 hours, I got the mail that they have an update regarding my this last round. So that was basically that I got selected, but they didn't want to tell me. And then after a day, my recruiter scheduled a meet with me, Zoom meet. And then she told me that I got selected.
Okay. So basically, what you did was you basically applied for whatever came your way and whatever you think you are suited for, and then you didn't have much knowledge about networks, but you did your best, whatever you can in that given little amount of time. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what would you say? Like, was the preparation strategy somewhat different? Like, before you knew that you were going to interview for networks, I think somewhere we all have in mind that we are going to interview for a normal SC. So, would you say that your strategy was any different from that?
See, if you are giving any examination, your strategy should be first cover all the basic topics that you think that they will definitely ask according to you and your instincts. So first cover all the basic topics, and then increase your level to the medium level. Cover those topics and then increase your level. Now talking about the last level, that is the hard level, I would say. In any domain, I'm not talking about networking, I'm not talking about DSA, but any level, any domain. So if you are going to the hard topic, then first make sure that you have a good grasp till the medium level, then only move on to the next level. What I did in my interview, I covered all the basic topics. I covered all the medium level topics, but I only read about the hard level. I only read about the topics at hard level, where I think that yes, I know about this topic till the medium level, and I can, absorb, uh, absorb the whole concept at the hardest level. So, because what happens usually, what happens is, uh, when when you are, when you are giving some examination or interview in general, so you try to absorb so many things at the same time, and nothing happens, you just end up doing nothing at your interview or at the last day. So just make sure that whatever you are reading, just absorb it properly and understand it properly, understand its whole concept, every word. If you are learning some definition, then you should understand every word of that definition. And also, this networking is not only about the theoretical knowledge, it is also about some implementation. So I made sure that whatever I am reading, I also searched that how it is implemented in real world. So my interviewer also asked me some questions, that how do you think that this particular thing is being implemented in the real world situation. So that is also one point that people should consider.
Can you share a little bit about what's the work for a network engineer? Like, since most of us don't know what it does.
Okay, so mostly the network engineer uh, work in the data center. So if you are deploying something, and you have to increase your, um, so you have some instances and you have to increase the instances, and there should be no problem in the deployment. So every bug or error the people face in deployment, the network engineer is responsible for.
Interesting. I think we can take questions from chat now. Um, Before that, can you just quickly summarize your whole journeys from your first year, like how you coded, what all you did at what time, and all that.
Okay. So when I got admission at my college in my first year, so I always wanted to get into FANG. I don't know why, because so many people say that company stack doesn't matter and all, and I completely agree with that, because if you have knowledge, then these stacks doesn't matter. Just your knowledge, that is what matters. But what I used to think is, first I want to get selected, then I will decide that if company tag matters or not. So that was the reason that why I wanted to get into these companies. But the main problem was, in my college no such companies visit for on campus placements and or on campus internships. So I knew that I have to do all by myself, and I don't have any help. So in the first year, I came from a electrical engineering branch. So I am from non-CS branch. So in my college, there was an option to upgrade your branch in the first year itself. So you have to met certain requirements. The first one is to get a good CGPA. So the so every year the CGPA changes according to the cutoff, and so I tried to get my branch upgraded in my first year, but unfortunately I didn't got good grades in that. So I mean, I got good grades, but not that much. So I got 8.9 CGPA, and the cutoff was 9.5 around. So my branch didn't get upgrade. So my first year, I did nothing, just read the first year subjects and worked on that. And at the end of my first year, I joined a club called Autonomous Underwater Vehicles Club at my college. And there I learned Python, where I implemented few things in OpenCV, image capturing, image processing, and all. But I didn't do core DSA or competitive programming, nothing I did. Then from the second year, I remember that I wanted to continue in Python or Java because I used to do application development as well in the initial phase of my second year. So so in the summer vacation, when the first year end and second year starts, so there is a summer vacation, and in that summer vacation I learned application development. So when I came to second year, I wanted to do DSA in Java and Python, or Python, whatever. But there is a guy, he suggested me that no, you should go for C++, and he's my senior, not from my college, but he is senior. So he suggested me that you should go for C++ because it is better for competitive programmers. So I just blindly trust him because he was at a good place, and I started C++, and I started solving questions. Initially, I used to think that no, I am not made for this and I can't solve any question, and these questions are way too much hard. But but what I would say is I I consistently solved questions, whether it is lead code, geeks for geeks, code forces, code chef, whatever it is, but I used to solve questions daily. And from the second year till my this third year, I used to solve questions daily, whatever platform it is. But I didn't I didn't stop it. uh, Sorry. So I used to solve questions randomly from these sites to learn the basic data structures algorithm. And first I learned these basic DSA. Then I moved on to code forces to, get into competitive programming. I I did code forces for 2-3 months, and then I stopped because I got some internship, and then I thought that no, let's uh, let's stop this for now, then I will continue if it is required. But during my internship also, I used to do lead code or geeks for geeks. Then um, then yeah, I just used to do some sheets, like there is a sheet called from Love Bubber, 450 questions, if you have heard. And there is a sheet from Striver, I think, also. So I have solved these questions. I haven't completed all the sheet, but yes, I used to pick and select some questions which are really good and which I think that I should solve. And I also had lead code premium in my second year. So last 2021 February, I bought that premium. So from that also, I used to do some questions, company specific. So in the August 2021, I got an opportunity to interview at Google, and from that time, I got really serious into these topics. So what I used to do and what was my mistake was, I used to do questions randomly from anywhere, which was not leading me to particular direction. But when I gave my Google interview, I realized that no, it is not that hard. You should be very much specific what you are doing, and then you can just get the opportunity. It is not that much impossible to do, yeah, right? So so whatever whatever interview I used to give, I used to solve the questions from that tag only, from lead code. So from August, I think I didn't get any time to think that I don't have anything, because as soon as my Google and interview process ended, then I had my Amazon interview scheduled. Then after Amazon, I had, I think, Adobe, and then after Adobe, I think I had Bloomberg and also some companies in between. So I didn't get time to think that no, I don't have anything, I should again start solving questions just randomly. uh yeah, so I just, whenever my interview process ended and I got rejected, I just go to the career portals of good companies and apply to the positions, and my interview gets scheduled.
Okay. Um, I think like there are a lot of things to learn from that experience, especially the way you kept going and you didn't get disheartened because of the how interviews were going. I think that happens a lot of time, and I won't lie, it does happen to me too. If I do something and it does not yield the results I was desiring for, then it's just very heartbreaking. And the way you said that you gave all these interviews and now you have such a good offer, it simply said that we just have to keep trying. Um, okay, I think we can start with the questions in the chat. Um, okay. Oh, there are two Saujanyas in the meeting. Congratulations, Saujanya. Uh, can you please name the cloud certification you did? Uh,
Okay. I did AWS Cloud Practitioner certification, and I was also going to give my DevOps certification in February, but my meta process started, so I just stopped. But soon I will be get that certification as well.
Okay, I wanted to ask this too. Like, do you think this certification play a role? Would you say that your projects and your skills, like basically what you did in your projects, helped you get this opportunity, or would you say the certificates also had some role to play?
It depends on what certification you are talking about. So AWS certification is in itself a very good level of certification, and uh, you can't easily get that certification because it is a proctored examination, and then there's a whole lot process. And also there is another some certifications like Microsoft Azure also provide that, and Google Cloud certification is also there. So these certifications play a very important role, and if you are getting certified, then it means a lot. So I think both are equal. My projects and certification both played an equal role. Even certification play a higher role if it is a good certification.
I think it's somewhere you can say it makes you stand out because if everyone is doing the same thing, how
Yeah,
would you say who to pick?
correct.
Okay, coding questions are based on which topic?
So um, I don't know if I can tell you the topic,
I
but
think
I
you can
think
tell the topic. You can skip the exact question, but the topic would be good.
topics. So that question. So actually, that question can be solved from different data structures. So I don't know how to tell you the specific data structure, but mine was related to hash maps and all. But the whole logic was related to networking. So I can't tell you the specific topic because you can solve that specific question from different data structure from different topic. So that's the.
Adding to what Saloni said, I think you should definitely be familiar and good with at least the basic data structures and algorithm. You can be sure that okay, Saloni got this question from this topic, then I will also get question from this
Hmm.
topic only. Uh, so you should be good with at least the basic data structures and algorithm. Um, okay. What is networking? Okay, yeah, a lot of people in this meeting are from first and second year, so maybe they don't know what networking is. Can you just elaborate over what networking is?
Okay, so I will take a very common example. So you have your Wi-Fi in your house or in your schools, and that Wi-Fi connects your devices, right? So that whole thing is a network, a Wi-Fi and your devices. All of them are connected. So that particular space is a network, and then that network is connected to another network having another router, another devices. So, for example, I'm sitting here, you are sitting in any other city, and we both are connecting using this Google Meet. So somewhere we are connected some with some network. So your area is connected to my area. So this whole process is networking. So this is very, you know, a layman answer.
Thank you so much, Saloni. Um, wasn't the coding round based on DSA? I think that,
Yeah,
that we answered that. That was based on DSA. What Saloni said was there were two rounds after the online test. One was coding, which is based on DSA, and then there was another one which was purely based on networking,
yeah.
for which she studied from different sources. She read a whole book in 1 week. That's commendable. Uh, and she talked to a lot of different people who were working for the same position. Mm. When did you start learning about networking?
Okay. I started in my second year. So basically, from the first year, I knew about AWS, but I didn't know that what is networking and what is AWS used for, Amazon Web Services. But I knew that they do something related to cloud computing and all. So I knew the term cloud computing, AWS, and these heavy terms. But I didn't know that what exactly happens there. So in my second year, I started learning about the certifications they provide, because I wanted to explore cloud computing, and the general way to go into cloud computing domain is to start doing some certifications, and then at the same time start implementing your knowledge. So I started with the cloud practitioner certificate. So it is for the beginners who want to get into this domain. So I started learning about this certification, what are the topics they usually ask, and then at the same time I used to implement them on my AWS account, and I used to deploy some websites. I get knowledge how websites are deployed there and what are the things I can do on AWS. So um, so yeah, that's all about this uh, cloud computing, and
Uh,
I started there. Yeah.
would you mind explaining what all actually comes under cloud computing? Just a brief, maybe.
Okay. So, for example, if you want to deploy your website somewhere, right? So you should need some server, you should need uh, some database to store your, files and images. So, for example, if you are hosting some website from your computer, then your local server will host that. But if you want your website that everyone can access, so you should deploy it somewhere, right? So AWS, Amazon Web Services, provide this facility to use their servers and deploy your website. So AWS, GCP, Microsoft Azure. So they all provide this service to make your business accessible to everyone. So this is the general concept of cloud computing.
Yeah. So moving ahead, did you have any previous internship experience?
Yeah, actually, I'm doing one internship. It is my fourth internship, and I have done three internships previously. All of them were startup, and initial two internships were in application development, and then after that I did in full stack, and then I am doing in MLAI plus cloud computing, the current internship that I am doing. So yeah.
Uh, just follow up to that question. Like, do you think doing internship would work, or would you say the amount of work and the learning that you're getting from the internship is also important?
No, so amount of internship doesn't matter, just the amount of learning you are getting from those internship matters. So what happened was, when I wanted to switch from application development to MLAI and cloud computing, so I applied in few startups, and they also selected me to work there. But I saw that their work culture is not that great, what I wanted. And, I won't be getting that much knowledge that I want to get. So, uh, so I didn't join those startups, and I focused on increasing my skills so that I can um, get to work with some good minds. So, so I think that no amount of internship doesn't matter, but I think I was fortunate enough to get selected in startups at least, because and I have learned so many things. I mean, I think more than 60% of my knowledge came from my startup internships. So yeah, you will get very good knowledge if you work as an intern.
Thank you so much. Next question is from Prerna. Were you already preparing for the networking role only, or and not for STE role?
No, that's not true. So I also applied for SD roles in other companies. So Google, Amazon were for SD intern. But yes, if you talk about my future goals, then I definitely want to work as a network engineer on, so that was my future goal. But yes, initially I just wanted to get some good internship so that I can get some knowledge how things work in at the industrial level. So yeah.
Okay. Uh, like since you have so much clarity that you always wanted to be a network engineer, like uh, can you share like when you knew that okay this is some, because I think not all of us, and even I for a long time didn't know about a lot of tools which were out there for us. So when do you discover that this is something and you can do this? And like I would say in general your path is very different. People generally don't do cloud computing in their second year. So can you just elaborate over how you stumbled upon it, or how you, when do you know that this is something that you want?
Okay, so actually, when I got into my college, so everyone was doing web development, and I also tried web development, and I didn't like that domain because I'm very bad at CSS, honestly. So I thought that no, this thing is not for me, and I moved on to application development. Then because I what I wanted was I wanted to explore every single domain that is possible in my whole 4 year life, and then we'll decide that what I want to do. So when I started web development, then no, that is not for me. Then I moved on to application development. Then I learned about MLAI, and at the same time cloud computing. So cloud computing idea came when I was in first year, and I told you that I knew about AWS and cloud computing terms. So I when I got that certification, then I explored its job opportunities, and what work people do in cloud computing. And it is really interesting because people nowadays don't do cloud computing in the bachelor's degree. So I used to think that why is it so, because cloud computing is very popular, and everything is um, everyone is interested in this domain, because at the end you have to deploy your application, at the end you have to deploy your technology, and you need this cloud services. So so yes, I explored all the opportunities, I explored all the uh, concepts that are there in this domain. And yeah, then and at that time I decided.
Another question, like since most of the people don't know about this and they prepare for SD role, and you decided very early on in your career that this is what you want to do you think that kind of reduced your competition, kind of helped you in grabbing the internship? Do you think that also played one of the role, other than your skills? Obviously you can't get an internship if you are not good at what they are expecting you to do.
Okay, so what I want to say for this is every role at internship position start from the coding round, and coding round is same for every position, whether it is networking, whether it is SD. Coding round is almost same, the level of questions they ask. And the next round depends on the position that you are applying for. So if you are applying for SD, the next round generally uh, revolves around DBMS OOPS or some computer science concepts, or the behavioral round, resume round, these kind of things. So if you talk about the computer concepts, then computer networking is also the part of computer fundamentals. And as a student of BTech, you should know about these subjects. So I think that all the topics are same for every position. Only if you are applying for some specific role, the last round usually revolves around only one subject rather than all the subjects of computer fundamentals. So um, I mean, I don't know that if it reduces my competition, because this is the only position that I have applied for as a network engineer, and apart from that, I have applied for SD intern roles only. So, but I think that if I talk about my future goals, then in future, I think most of the people will be doing cloud computing, and the competition is equal.
Thank you so much. Um, okay, next question is from Khushi. For a third year student, Meta offers internship opportunity for all roles or for a few one.
I think that there are so many roles. There is, I think product management role was there as far as I know. Then there is this network engineer intern. Then there was front end engineer role also. So they offer multiple opportunities.
Um, how did you finish a book within a week? Any tips? Did you read every single line?
Yeah, because I thought that this is my last opportunity for this time, because after that the companies will come in June or July. So for this summer I don't have any good offer in my hand, and this is my last opportunity. I so there is no shortcut. I read every single line. I understand the concept, and implement that concept in some software or something. So yeah, I read every single line.
So basically, you basically for that whole week you were giving all your time to that book.
Yeah.
Uh, how do we know that we have got a grasp over a particular level and it's time to move to the next level?
Okay. So one suggestion for this is, it might be different for other persons, but what worked for me, I used to search some questions from that topic. So for example, you are reading about routing protocols. So I used to search some basic questions like what is routing, what are some protocols that you use, and some very basic question. If I am able to answer it correctly with all my confidence, then I move on to the next level. Then so that is what you can do.
Uh, Next question is from Saujanya. I'm currently doing a course by CCNA Cisco, Introduction to Networking and Switching, Routing and Wireless Essentials. Will this help me in future for such roles? Should I continue with such courses?
Yes, you should definitely. Even the person who helped me on LinkedIn was from Cisco, and Cisco provides a very uh, Cisco certifications provide a very good knowledge in networking, and it will definitely help you. Also, I'm not sure if is the certification like proctored certification or not, because the proctored certifications are much valued than the non-proctored.
It's not proctored, but we get a time limit to finish the entire test.
Okay, so I haven't done the certification,
Like
but
there
you
are
can.
50 questions and we have to finish within a 1 hour time frame.
Okay, so see, because why I'm saying proctored is because in uh, if the examination is not proctored, then person can cheat in that examination and can get the certification, which usually decrease the value of that certification. So if you are not cheating in that certification, then it is very good and you will get a good knowledge, but the value of that certification will decrease simultaneously. So if you are getting some certification, see if it is proctored.
Okay, Deep.
Also, I think just doing courses won't help you. I think Saloni also mentioned it. She did 4 internships and she had some hands-on experience. So be sure that whatever you are learning, you are implementing that in real life.
Yeah,
But I
correct.
won't get an internship in first year now.
You
Oh,
will definitely get in second year.
yeah, and actually, when it comes to startup, you never know if you are good at what you do, they will take you even if you are not enrolled in a BTech program. So,
Okay,
Correct.
Deep, will try.
okay. Um, so next question is from Prerna. Did you have any previous internship? Oh, we have done that. Garvita, from where did you learn this?
Okay, so the basic data structures I learned from a course on Udemy from Abdul Bari. So that is a very good course, and he has explained it in. So he has mostly used pseudocodes, which is usually in C, but I have done in C++, so it was very much easier to transform that code in C++. So I have learned from that course only.
Hmm? Priyanshi, can you share your resume which got selected for these companies?
Um, sure, I will try to.
Okay. So Ajanya is saying, D, did you apply for Google Step Intern in second year?
Google, yeah, I got rejected at the application round only.
I think that's because you said you were just focusing on your coursework in the first year, so maybe you didn't have much because they come
Yeah,
very early on in the second year
yeah.
also. Okay. Tena, can you name some projects which you mentioned in your resume?
Okay, so one I can so one was in a software in using some machine learning algorithm, so it detects cervical cancer. So I integrated it with a website and also deployed it on Heroku. So yeah, that is what the application. And also I have made, I think, because I was preparing for machine learning, AI, and cloud computing internship. So I was focusing on making some projects in ML AI and deploying it using some cloud technology. So most of my projects were into ML AI, and I tried to deploy it on some cloud technology.
So Khushi is asking any advice for a second year student who is not good in CP but like DSA a lot and solve questions. Me, basically.
Yes, so it's fine. I was also not good in competitive programming when I tried code forces, and I just it just didn't work for me because I don't know what happened, but I just didn't continue that. So it's fine if you are good at DSA, just start, just just don't stop solving the questions. Continue solving the questions and give some. There is some contest on Lead Code weekly, bi-weekly. So give those contests and you will get some good knowledge there also. So it's fine. Just don't stop. That is my advice.
That's great. No? Um, Garvita, in language, did you give the coding interview? Or in which language did you give the coding interview?
C++.
Okay. Are there any good certifications for an SD role as well?
So it depends on your domain. So if you are an application developer, then there are some certifications for uh, app developer from Google. If you are a specifically Flutter developer, then there is also a Flutter development certificate. And if you are a web developer, then you can try some JavaScript certificates as well. So it depends on your domain.
Um, Garvit and Prerna have the same question. How did you manage your core branch along with preparing this side? I am also from chemical and it becomes really hard to focus on this side, basically computer fundamentals.
Actually, the COVID helped me a lot, more than a lot. So the exams were going online, so it was not much work for me to do in the electrical engineering. And I used to study for examination 1 week before, so nothing more than that. So yeah, and in my college, I don't get much assignments and all on the daily basis or on the weekly basis. So yeah, I managed.
I think COVID, like, so whatever you said right now, that kind of shows that what colleges are teaching us that is so outdated that COVID kind of helped people who wanted to focus on their career.
Yes, so I tell you from my college only when I got admission, only there were 3 or 4 seniors who were working in a very good companies and not more than that. So it is really bad because I can say that people from my college are very talented and they can just grab so many opportunities, but I don't know what was stopping them from getting that or what was the reason. But there are so many talented people. When my batch came, I had very good friends, and everyone's goal was to get some good job or internship. So so when COVID came, then yes, it gave us time to focus upon ourselves and improve our skills and upgrade our skills. So yes, it helped a lot. But also, if the college is open, if it is not closed, then it also depends on you that how much time you are giving to yourself to upgrade your skills. So that is what matters.
Okay, fine. Um, Next question we have: how did you got premium on LeetCode? You bought it or what?
Yeah, I bought it for a year.
Where should I start to practice coding? There are so many sites; it's confusing.
So, see, platforms doesn't matter whether it is Lead Code, Geeks for Geeks. You should just start because questions I think are same on every platform. If there is some question on Lead Code, you will definitely find it on Geeks for Geeks and vice versa. So it doesn't matter. Just start.
Okay. Uh, did you do any mentorship program as well?
Mentorship program as in this Codess.Cafe.
Prerna, like, can you unmute yourself and can you ask the question? Can you clarify the question? Tina, you can also write it in chat if you don't want to speak up.
Dia, I wanted to ask that Gavita asked that where should I start to practice coding? There are so many sites, it's confusing. And you said that we should just start solving. But you earlier said that aimlessly, you were also aimlessly solving questions and it wasn't like you weren't landing anywhere and it didn't give you a proper direction. So,
Okay. So see, if I think that she asked where to start. So at the beginning, you should not focus on company specific questions. So for I think 2 3 months, you should just solve the questions randomly from all the topics. So that is what the straightforward approach should be. So there is no shortcut that no, you should only do company specific because this is not a good thing to solve questions in that way. But yes, after 2 3 months you should jot down all the things that yes, this topic usually these companies ask and I should focus on these topics. This topic is weak for me and I should learn more about it. So this thing is for after 2 or 3 months, but for 2 to 3 months you should solve the questions randomly.
okay, Dia.
Okay. And okay, Prerna replied by mentorship program, she mean LinkedIn coaching and
I
other.
got rejected from that also.
But personally, what I think is, I can be wrong, but I think a lot of people apply in LinkedIn coaching and these sort of mentorship, which are basically attached with big companies, so that it act as a achievement in their resume. More than learning, they focus on the name on their resume.
Correct. And if it is a mentorship program, then I think that from any source you are getting the knowledge, that is what matters. So it doesn't matter if you are getting from LinkedIn coaching mentors or the normal mentors. So it only depends what knowledge you are getting.
Yeah, right. I completely agree. Khushi Sharma, at what time were the applications open for Meta? Because I have to keep a track.
um I don't know, but I think that this time, January, February is the time where these application open, and you can also check at the time of May, June, July. But I'm not very sure. Because if there is requirement, they just open the roles, and you have to, see their sites regularly.
Can you give interview? By the way, Kushi, like a lot of opportunities get posted on our Discord also, the Codess Discord. So even if you are checking the Discord regularly, you will get a lot of the opportunities updated with a lot of opportunities. And other than that, if you have any specific company in your mind, any specific role in your mind, then a lot of companies, almost all of them, have their career portals. So you can keep an eye over that. Garvita is asking, can you give interview tips for question like introduce yourself? That's a good
Oh,
question.
yeah. Uh, so when you are answering this question, so you have to so there are two things. First, you have to see uh, how your interviewer is. So first, usually the interviewer give his introduction. If your interviewer is giving his or her introduction in a very short, like in 2 lines maximum, so you have to be very short and you have to give your introduction in 2 or 3 lines, not more than that. But if your interviewer has given his introduction in a very uh, precise manner, like very long introduction, then you have to mention all your skills and what you are up to and what communities you belong to and all. So you have to include that as well. So what I used to follow is, in introduction you should start with your name, your degree and all. Then in the second part you should include your skills, and in the third part you can include your internship experiences, what you have learned, and in the last part you can include your college communities or clubs that you are associated with. Also, one more thing, so if your interviewer is very much chill and telling you about his hobby and all at the last, then you can also include that. So it totally depends on your interviewer.
Oh, okay. What are the CGPA requirements for the international offers?
No, it is, so CGPA doesn't matter. I don't think so. But if you have a CGPA 8.5, then it is good enough.
Okay, we collected some questions before the session in a Google form, and let me just read them out. I think we have answered a lot of them, but let me just go through them once again, just to make
Sure.
sure we have not missed out on anyone. How did you get this opportunity, and what prerequisites were necessary for your role? The application process to interviews, everything. Okay, can you tell a little bit about the prerequisites part?
Prerequisite for my internship.
Yeah, prerequisites for the role, this meta network engineer role.
So when the day I applied, in 2 days I got the mail that my profile got selected and I have to interview. So I didn't get time to, you know, prepare myself from few days back. But if you know that you want to go in this domain only, then you can learn about computer network basics. The book that I mentioned is a very good book to start with. You can also do some certification. If you don't want to get the certification, just get the knowledge or cover the syllabus that is asked in these certifications. So in that way you can, get more knowledge, and also you can implement those uh, concepts on your account, like Google Cloud account there is, and AWS account. So you will also get the implementation knowledge.
I think you just told about what all you should do for grabbing the internship, but were there any prerequisites that were mentioned on their portal for the
Okay, yeah, so the prerequisite was you should have some basic knowledge in the cloud computing, the networking. So, but I think if your profile gets selected, then that means that your domain is matching. So if you want your profile to get selected there, then you should do some certification or projects in this part, like deploy some project and add it in your resume and do some certifications. So yeah.
next question is, be a second year student should focus more on getting an internship as soon as possible for experience, or should only focus on practicing DSA and learning core subjects more for doing good in opportunities coming in third year?
Okay. So I think that don't focus uh, uh, don't focus on getting the internship, but yes, if you are seeing some opportunity, go and fill it. You will definitely get some experience how to interview, and it would be great if you get selected. But at the end you will get a knowledge that how to, perform in the interview rounds. So focus on your DSA, but if you are seeing that yes, this is the opportunity, then apply for it and go for it.
Okay. Just a follow-up question to that is, does it matter to have an internship in second year to get our resume shortlisted for the companies we would apply in third year, or good projects would do? And B, it would be great if you can tell more about which projects were the one, uh, which projects should one include in a resume, web dev especially, if one has to choose.
Okay. What was your previous question?
Uh, does it matter that does having an internship in second year matter
Okay.
to
Yeah.
to get your resume shortlisted in third year?
Okay, so I think that yes, because if you have the hands-on experience knowledge in that domain, then definitely it matters. But but if you have done very good certifications and you have very good projects, then it is equal. But yes, if you have done some internships, it doesn't matter that it should be a very good internship in very good company. It can be a startup, but I would suggest that having a hands-on knowledge is definitely a plus point. Yeah, what was your next question, Katie?
Yeah. Which project one should include in resume to get noticed?
uh, so in web development, she asked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in web development, if you are if you are applying for like general SD roles, then you can then the idea of your project matters. That what are the, what is the idea of your project, what are the technologies you have used. It should not only contain a good front end, but it should also contain some backend also, and it would be great if you can deploy it on some, cloud services. But also if you are looking for specifically this networking role, then you have to deploy your application on cloud. It doesn't matter what your application it is, but more what matters is how you have used the cloud services, and what services you have used, and uh, how you have deployed it. So that knowledge matters in networking roles.
Okay. Um, do these companies look for competitive coding skills in candidates?
Yes, they do, but I think that, see, competitive programming is nothing but uh, a step. a step after the DSA. So if you are very good at DSA, then you can solve questions in a very good manner, like you can solve hard questions, then that's enough. So yes, they see that you should have a very good coding skills, but competitive programming is not the answer. So if you are good at DSA, then that's enough.
Hmm. How to start applying for international opportunities?
Go to their career portals and apply. And if you are getting referral, then that's also amazing.
How important for your project slash hackathon experience in this process? I think we have covered that. Do you think competitive coding played a pivot role in your performance in the interview process? I think we have also covered that. You didn't do competitive programming for long. Can you share your lead code or GFG profile?
Yeah, I
Uh,
will share. So
can we apply, like, what will you do with that profile? Can we apply in any offer?
exactly.
Can we apply in any offer abroad or any? Are there any specific opportunities for international candidates?
Are there any specific opportunities?
Can
What
they
do you mean?
apply for? Can they apply for any opening, or is there any specific requirement for international candidates to apply to a particular position?
No, just see what companies provide this visa thing, and they provide you work visa and all. Then that's enough. If the company is okay with that, then there is no problem. They will just select you if you are the good fit. It doesn't matter if you are from India and they are from USA, so it doesn't matter.
Also, if they don't want to take you, they will reject you. And if you won't apply, you are already rejected. So just go and apply.
Definitely.
Is the selection process similar to the ones held for Indian opportunities?
I think that most of the process was same, the coding round and all, and the last round was very much new to me also, because in that round the interviewer didn't ask me my introduction, nothing from my resume, nothing from my projects and all. He just started the discussion on computer networks. So it was a discussion, and discussion can go anywhere. It depends that what topic you are discussing. So so I think that this is what happens because in India I haven't applied for the specific roles, but I think that this is what happens because in the last round usually the interviewer discusses you how you are telling your approach and all. So it is, I think, quite same, but I can't say with the surety that yes, it is same.
So we can say in your experience it was similar, but it's not a for sure thing that it will be similar for all the
Yeah,
roles.
definitely.
Is there any specific kind of preparation required to bag an international offer?
Specific what?
Is there any specific kind of preparation required to bag an international offer?
No, so it is same. If you have a good DSA knowledge and if you have a good computer fundamental knowledge, then it that is what matters.
I think there are two more questions in the chat. Both are from Prerna. I see, Prerna, you are participating a lot. I'm really happy you are interested. I hope you will get an international offer soon. So, what according to you is a good resume which got your profile shortlisted?
Okay. So a good resume according to me is having some internship experience, having some, if you are applying for some specific role like networking or these, then you should have some certification to prove your skills, and you should have some 2 3 good projects. By good projects I mean it should be first completed, deployed, and the idea should be great.
Did you get your resume reviewed from someone who was working at Meta?
No, so I didn't got the review from Meta, but yes, when I started my journey from the Google interview, then from that time I used to ask people to review my resume. So yeah, but from Meta I didn't got any reply.
Okay, how to find such people on LinkedIn to whom we can approach before interviews to ask for help as you did? How to approach them? And that's also a good question.
But I don't know if it is a good suggestion to give. But what I used to do, it is a very bad approach. I'm sorry. I'm suggesting, but yes, what I used to do is, I made a paragraph that I want this help from your end, and I used to send that message to, I think, 20-30 people working at that specific company. So I used to get reply at least from 6, 7, 8, and that's enough. So yeah, and
I
people
think
are very, very nice. People were very nice to me from the Google in itself. At the time of Google interview, uh, I think I gave my mock interview to 8 to 9 people from Google, and everyone was very nice to me. So if you have a good profile on LinkedIn and you are messaging them, then that's enough. Then they will just reply you.
I think that's a good advice. Generally, people on LinkedIn, it's not just that if they are willing to help you or not, it's also that they are working full time. Do they have the bandwidth to help you? So
Correct,
I think
correct.
you should, yeah, you should definitely contact more than two, three people just to make sure you get what you are asking for, the advice people.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is from where did you apply for your international internship in startups? For your initial internship in startups. There's so much international in my head.
Okay, so there is a site called angel.co. So they post about the startups that are looking for internships, and also not startup but a good startups as well, the companies in general. So I got my initial two offers from that. I think initial three offers from that, and the last offer I got from LinkedIn.
One last question. No problem, Prerna. You can ask more questions also. How much time it took to have a good grasp over DSA?
Okay, so it also depends on you, but I think that if you are practicing it and if you have done it in 4 months consistently, then you will be good to go and you will have a good knowledge. And after that, only what matters is you are not stopping, so that when the interview day come, then you are not blank that no, I have stopped that month before and how will I continue. So just continue doing that. But 4 or 5 months are enough to get a good grasp.
Next question is from Garvita. Can you give me reference? Please, 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 please.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay. I think we are done with question.
Just
And I
pray
think
if
we
I
are,
will get the PPO.
yeah, all wishes with you. We are all hoping for your success. Um,
Thank you.
Once again,
yes.
congratulations, Deep.
Thank you.
Okay. Um, so I think we are done with question and we are a little over time. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. And once again, congratulations for your offer. You have surely worked very hard for it. We all can say it throughout. Your journey was really inspiring. And thank you so much for joining in. And guys, the takeaway which I have taken from this session is like keep trying. Even if you're not getting selected, that's not something to get disheartened. Obviously, your skill matters. She was good at what she was doing. That's why she got this opportunity and she was able to crack it. And consistency, of course. So,
Thank you, Kirti, for having me here. It was
thank you
nice
so much.
talking about this.
Thank you so much for saying yes to this. Thank you so much. We thoroughly enjoyed your comment. Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye, Deep.